What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again for another video, and it seems like the sky is falling again in Leafs Nation, but there's a game to be previewed, and I'm going to be watching the game and reviewing it because truly fans were going to stick around, regardless of the record right now. The Leafs are going to pull it together and they're going to make the playoffs. You heard it here first. You guys might think I'm ridiculous. I think that they can do it. But the Leafs go into this one 13-13-4 against the St. Louis Blues, who are 18-6-6 tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern in St. Louis, Saturday, December 7th. Of course, this is going to be a fun game to watch. The reason why I say that is because while I'm a Leafs fan, we have to give respect to the defending Stanley Cup champions. They've already played this year, but I mean, it's just fun to watch a good team play, and the Leafs need to play good against a good team. Freddie Anderson should be making another start. Obviously, he got those back-to-back starts and played well in both. He's 13-7-3 with a shutout, 2.56 goals against average, and a .918 save percentage against Jordan Binnington. The story amongst, amazing stories on St. Louis, but one of the best ones. He's the probable starter, 13-5-4 with a shutout, a 2.30 goals against average, and a .925 save percentage. So very good numbers for him. In terms of points, Matthews leads the way with 31. Perron is leading them with 28. That's a bit of a surprise, but they've had some injuries. O'Reilly has 20 assists for the Blues. Morgan Riley has 17 assists for the Leafs. So the Rileys are getting it done. In terms of goals, Braden Shen, who's been a really good story for St. Louis as well ever since they acquired him a couple years back. He's been really good for them. Obviously, he got a new deal as well. I believe he's got a new contract, 14 goals for him. Matthews has got 16. He needs to get going. And then in terms of wins, Freddie and Binnington are at 13 apiece. Goals per game, the Leafs are just edging them in this category, but they get basically destroyed in the other categories. So they're neck and neck with St. Louis. They score 3.13 goals per game. St. Louis scores 3 goals per game even. The Leafs give up 3.30 goals against per game. The Blues are at 2.50, which is very insane. That's really good. Power play percentage, the Leafs are at 19.05%, while the Blues are at 23.66%. In terms of penalty kill percentage, the Leafs are at 75.53%. The Blues are at 85.06%. So the Blues take all the categories, the penalty kill, power play, goals against per game, and they're basically neck and neck with the goals per game, but the Leafs just take a slight advantage there. Now, they're 4-3. The Leafs are 4-3 under Sheldon Keefe. Now, a lot of people are like, well, the coaching change doesn't change anything. Actually, it has. The games that the Leafs just lost, back-to-back games, and even the one where they fell apart against the Flyers, they played good in both of those games, and then it just fell apart. The Leafs are learning with the new coach how to protect leads, how to get leads, and how to play better under pressure. And this is a thing. The Leafs are still very young. And that's not an excuse. No excuses. They need to be winning games. But that's something we kind of have to keep in mind. The Leafs are a good team, but they're also still growing as players. Matthews, Nylander, and Marner are not veterans. They're young guys. And, other guys like Janssen, Kapanen, and Moore, but Janssen's hurt, he won't be playing. But they've got an abundance of young players on that team with not a ton of experience. This is where guys like Tavares steps in. Even Riley, even though he's been there for a while, but he's not even some seasoned vet that knows how to get everything done. But Tavares has at least done a lot of different things. He's been in international tournaments many times. He's been around. He's been a captain for another team. The Leafs are learning how to better prepare themselves to play at an elite level. And I think that that's something that we're going to see go on and on with Sheldon Keefe as well. I think that he's trying to loosen them up a little bit. You kind of have to loosen things up a little bit and not get too worried and too uptight. You're playing good teams every night, it's the NHL. So you need to find a way to win these games regardless of, we gave up a crappy one like that, the Spezza and Riley blunder. They need to figure out a way to collectively cool down and figure out ways to win games. And again, no excuses. For some reason, somebody commented in one of my other videos, stop making excuses. I responded to them. It's not an excuse. They need to win. I'm not making excuses. Those are games they have to win. But at the same time, we kind of have to see both sides of the fence. It's not an excuse. these are just things that are happening with this team. They need to figure out ways to win, but I also do believe that they are building, they are growing, and it's only going to get better from here. And I also found something funny that I want to get off my chest too. A lot of reporters were saying the Leafs are going to have growing pains when Sheldon Keefe became their new head coach, which is fair. They have to learn a new system. They have to get used to their new coach. There's going to be some changes. And then they lost a game, and people are like, oh, well, there's no more excuses. They need to start winning games. It's like, what? So what happened to your take when the growing pains take? So now there's no such thing as a growing pain. They have to just do it. Again, not an excuse, but let's not make up false narratives here. The Leafs have to win games, but let's also remember that there was a lot of turnover in terms of personnel this year, and the new coach is the biggest one of all of them. They're building through it, they're working through it, and they're going to start winning some games. And I mean, they're still a 4-3 under Sheldon Keefe. Last time I checked, that's a winning record, but they got to get that record to a winning record. They're under 500 because they got 4 OT losses. I don't care what anybody says. They're not 500. 13-4 is not 500. They're under 500. Those are pity points when you lose in overtime. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. A lot of people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, so please do so. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.